Hey there, it is the 20th of June, 2016. It is 12:09 a.m. To a.m. Really. It is very, very early in the morning. But, I'm sure this guy is getting ready to reply back. But, okay, so I was watching this video. What is it? It's it's a trans, like, Facebook group or whatever. I'm not gonna say the name because of stealth and reasons and privacy reasons. Okay, good. Okay, he did just reply back. Okay. I think he replied another time or something, I don't know. But basically, he said, he's talking about the main video. Oh, sorry about that. The main video, oh yeah, it's Monday, by the way. I forgot, that's what I didn't say. I said the year, I said the time, I said the date, whatever. It's Monday, so yeah. Monday morning, taking care of your transgender health. It's titled, Are You Transgender and Neglecting Your Sexual Health? Now, to be honest, when I was on the path of thinking about hormones and surgeries, I thought about this. I was like, okay, eventually, pardon me. Eventually, this stuff crossed my mind, right? Like, I started thinking about surgeries, and I started thinking about doctor visits, and I started thinking about this, I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about hormones and how bad I wanted hormones, and then I connected that to the doctor who gave me the hormones. Doctors. Oh wait, yet alone doctors. Doctors. What about doctor visits? How was that gonna go? It's like my mind connected this to that, and you understand. The little correlations or whatever. But it really got me around to thinking, how the hell is that gonna work? Like routine checkups. And I'd also seen other videos of other trans guys, right? Talking about, trying to go to, what is it, trans, like, friendly hospitals or something like that, right? I don't know. I was thinking about all that, and, okay, good. I got around to realizing, you know, I think a specific trans guy, his name is Skylar, he talked about, doing a checkup visit, and he went to a trans-friendly hospital, and I was like, okay. And I think he mentioned something about, or either he mentioned it in the video, or either it just crossed my mind, right? I started thinking, okay, things that guys get checked up for. Okay, there's probably this, right? They do the standard, routine checkup, right? Put the thing on your tongue, right? Look into your ears, look at your eyes, the standard stuff. Maybe hit your knee or something. I don't know. Like, I think, to be honest, I haven't had a doctor, physician, whatever, hit my knee with like a little tool they use, right? Like, since I was like a kid. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, standard stuff. And then I got to thinking about the more specifics, including males, and then it hit me, I got around to eventually remembering, oh, yeah, wait, guys have a thing called prostate cancer, because I think during this medical class I was taking in high school, we started talking about how girls need to take care of their health and, physical health of the body, whatever, medications and such, and she was talking about a pap smear, right, the teacher, and that's how women can maintain their health and, keep track of yeast infections and prevent yeast infections and prevent cancers. And then we also got around to talking about prostate cancer, so you see the link ups. And basically, I remember I looked it up because I was like, oh yeah, well, I'm a trans guy, right? Like, I need to get on board with this. Like, I need to jump on the train with this. And anyway, I started looking up as much information as I could about trans guys, and prostate cancer. Couldn't find a single thing. Couldn't find anything on that. Now, it brought up little articles about, prostate cancer for guys, right? But like guys like in their 40s, older guys. But see, that's not the same thing. They were talking about cis guys. They were talking about biological guys. Or there were some articles about, again, for older men, right? Because that's really where the risk increases for prostate cancer and, such. And then of course it started talking about a healthy sex drive. It started talking about, sperm count and ways you can increase, a healthy prostate, right? By, healthy sexual relations and such. And it started talking about articles like older women, hey, talk to your man about going to the doctor, right? Whatever. Articles like that. But I didn't see anything for trans guys. Not a single thing. And I get it. It kind of makes sense because again, like in the general world, they're not thinking anything queer at all. They're not thinking, especially about, I say, trans guys. Trans women. They don't really think about, because again, it's like such a heavy cis influence. Just such a heavy cis pool, and it kind of makes sense. It kind of does. When you have such a, like, you have to wonder when you look up a certain article, or when you look up certain video for a certain category, for specifics, you have to wonder why you don't see many versions of something being talked about, right? Or why you don't see anything at all, right? Because you're really wanted. It's like you're really limited. Unfortunately, that causes more information that you're kept from and information you can't seem to get. And that's what really struck me when I was, I was starting to get frustrated because I was really genuinely curious. I needed to know, right? If I'm gonna do this and do that, if I'm gonna, be doing this and doing that, and, if I'm going to have the certain tools, right, of a guy, I need to know how to operate, how to keep myself healthy. See, there's nothing. And anyway, this dude, he's, talking about sexual health, and he mentions mammograms and things like that, and he mentions, I'd say good stuff, right, healthy stuff, even stuff that I had thought about eventually in my little journey, and everything like that, like, dating, right, relations, and when things get too sexual, before that point, that's when you want to let the person know who you're with, hey, I'm trans, or hey, I'm asexual, or whatever, hey, I'm aromantic, just a little flag to help, the other person, because suddenly when you're like, oh, what are you doing, stop, don't touch me, or if you don't like to be touched, or you don't like to whatever, you don't like a certain restaurant, you understand, like, they need to know these things, and it's not offensive, and it's not, like, I used to be, like, really, I was, like, really defensive. I was, like, thinking about that, dating, I was like, well, I'm not gonna tell any girl that. Why do I have to tell any girl that I'm trans, I'm just a regular guy. I just want to be like a regular guy. I just want to be treated like any other guy. And the fact that I have to come out and say, well, I'm a trans guy, like, no, automatically makes me different and distinguishes me. And then, like, she's gonna think of me always. And there's always gonna be that line, that barrier drawn there forever between us, me and the girl I was dating, and just even with myself, right? Having to just, having the realization of it day after day. And I'm gonna be honest, I did. Even though I didn't want to have the realization, right, that I wasn't fully male, I did. It always came back to me in some way or another. And I'm not gonna lie, yeah, it genuinely pissed me off, my people throwing in my face that, well, you're not a guy, you're not an actual guy, and you never will be. Yeah, so I had assholes like that, definitely do that when I was at I was at a low point, I did, but people will do what they do. Yeah, alright. But he just replied. Cool. Yeah, but, he's talking about a lot of healthy stuff, like I said, I reached my point with all that stuff, thinking about how things actually work as a trans guy in the world, right? Because I had to always realize that people aren't thinking of me, people, your general person, they're not gonna expect someone like me to come out of the blue, and that really throws them off, you understand? And then this includes the chick I'd be dating, so, this guy, he talks about, sexual health as far as dating, right? You don't just invite anyone to your house, because you never know who you're gonna get. And especially after you tell them, hey, I'm trans, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know that. You don't know that. And if they already know like where you live, right? You were talking about go somewhere public, wait till a certain point where you feel comfortable enough to share things and to do this and whatever. And I agree. Again, that's stuff that I had to reach those conclusions that is indeed how it always has to be. I can't just navigate, especially being pre-T and certain surgeries. Like, I had to realize I couldn't just navigate the world like a regular cis guy. Just, up in the air, carefree, and, no worries. Now, I'm not saying, of course, trans guys, whoever, cis or whatever, aromantic, whatever, you're going to have a risk of, STD. So, of course, there's always that worry. But I'm just saying, certain worries, obviously, bio guys, right? Cis guys, whatever you want to say, they're not going to have the same worries. I had to remember, I am special. I'm a special case, okay? To be honest, I'm a case that's more set back. I am. And I had to realize that. And I had to realize to stop beating myself up over it, because that's just the pick of the litter. You understand that? That's what comes with all of that. That's what comes with the life. That's really what comes with it. And taking on the responsibilities, it's heavy weight. There's a lot of things that put you at a great disadvantage. I'm not just saying in comparison to everyone else, well, as far as other cis guys, but just even you'll look at other trans guys and you'll be like, oh, I wish I was like him. I wish I could look like this, and I wish, I had more confidence. I wish that my family situation was better, or I wish that my money situation was better. I wish that I could get to his level, or I wish that I could go back, right? Right? Because it's not always just as a trans person, like, I want to advance, I want to advance, I want to advance. Sometimes you want to go back. Sometimes you wish you could undo some things. And then you look at a pre-T person who is young, and maybe they're confused. Maybe they're like, okay, I think I feel this way. I think I want to do this, but I'm not really sure. I think I want to go through with this doctor and get the surgery. I think I want to, take this version of testosterone, right? Whether the patch or the actual injections, right? And you're thinking, you sorry son of a bitch. You sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you motherfucker. Like, I wish I could go back in time and at least have the privilege of being able to question things again like you. I wish, I wish I could have more options, but I don't, because I jumped ahead, or I didn't do enough research, or whatever. Things just didn't work out the way that they have an opportunity to work out for you. You understand? So yeah, it's not always just, I want to advance. Sometimes you want to go back. And to be honest, I also saw that's a view that not many in the trans community have put out there. I'm not just talking about there are a few videos when people are like, okay, if you're questioning, it's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for people who are like, okay, just because I feel a certain way, even I know, that doesn't mean that I want, to change everything, right? Like, I love me and I love my body. And I'm not even talking about just like Ryan Casada, right? Because he's trans. But he doesn't, I'm not talking about like, if you're trans and you don't take hormones, or if you're trans and you don't have a certain surgery or whatever, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for trans people who don't want to be trans, or people who are, they realize that they're really, really feminine and they don't want to be, people who are really, really masculine and they don't want to be. Self-hater, no, I'm not talking about that, okay? Like, label them whatever you want. But these people, they're struggling too. And they need help. But still, right? To the average general people, they're shunned because they're still considered a freak. But however, with the queer community, they're still shunned because, like, okay, well, you're not exactly quite one of us, right? You don't fit in. You're not boasting, I'm queer and I'm proud 24/7 or whatever. You don't go to all the pride meetings. You don't wear your rainbow colors. You don't, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. You're trans, but you don't want to go on hormones. Okay, you're not trans enough. You're trans, but you're a trans guy, but yet you still want to be feminine or dresses, you want to be effeminate, you're not trans enough. Like there's still exclusions. And these are things that I even came to find in most of the videos I was watching, right? There's a certain message, a general message that's thrown out when it comes to the trans community. And I get it, right? It makes sense. The more the merrier. And I actually like there's more information out there, for, my other trans queer brothers and sisters. I get it. And it's good, right? It's good that we don't get lynched and whatever, hosed down if we're trans or not, and if we're actually sharing it. I'll still admit, when you're still posting videos about being trans, and every single trans person at some point has had to have realized this, you have to be careful, because you never know who's going to be walking down the street behind you, and who could have seen your videos or heard of you or whatever. You can be walking down the street, you can get stabbed in the back. You never knew that person, but they knew of you. You understand? Because you put that out there. So even they understand that. But, I mean, really, I find there's just a general message that's pushed, and, I mean, there's some people that I'm not talking about just they don't want to be trans, but, like, trans aspect, whatever you consider to be trans enough, whatever, but people who feel like they're, I don't want to say, like, well, yeah, I'll just say people who feel like they'd be more comfortable being the opposite sex. Some people don't want that. But see, they're shunned from the queer community because, oh, well, you must hate, the queer community. You're hating on us, or you're not fully with us, or, they don't want to embrace you fully because you drain their pride agenda, their pride energy, their pride, expressions and stances and flags and phrases, right? And I get it. Be proud and have your pride because that's better than killing yourself. Of course, that's better than, feeling miserable. That's better than, being, fired for being trans, and it's because you're trans too. It's because you're queer or whatever different, and then not fighting it right now, doing anything about it. Just saying, oh, well, I guess that's the world, and then just going on, right? I get it, right? But really, I had to be real. There is a certain view that is always shed when it comes to queer anything, to be honest. It's always pushed, I find, whatever it is. Hey, if you're this way, it's okay. Do it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are who you are, and whatever. There's not much of a side that says, hey, if you are like this, maybe there's a problem. Maybe you need to look into things more. Maybe you just need to talk to someone. Maybe you need to figure things out, right? And I mean, of course though, because that's like, well, that's bashing me. And to be honest, a couple of years ago, like I used to be way over here on this side. Like I used to be on that side who was like, no, don't question me, and you can't question my ways, and whatever. Everything was a bash, everything was discriminatory. If there was any question that opposed me and opposed me advancing in my gay life, you understand? It opposed me and feeling confident with myself, right? Because as a queer person, whatever branch of queer you are, whether it's even just questioning, whether it's, by gender or gender fluid or aromantic or whatever, or demi boy, whatever, any kind of whatever, pansexual, aromantic, lesbian, I don't know. I really don't know, like, whatever. I'm just saying, like, in the general world, I'm sure you've realized by now, the general world operates, you're not included in that plan. You're not. And because you're not, that's why, it's just so heavy all the time, right? With you having to stick up your nose and keep your pride, right? And no matter what anyone says, just turn them away. They must be crazy. They just must be, a hater or whatever else. But I find now, like, I'm a little bit more open to listen, because I actually see some logic in what other people have been trying to say to me. for a while. And you know, it's also like, what are you so afraid of? I mean, let go of your pride. I don't just mean the queer pride. No, let go of your self-pride. Because you're putting up the wall for a reason, I feel. Think about it. Like, if you're really gay and everything, like, if you're really as gay or whatever, as asexual as you say you are, like, that's gonna stay with you. Understand? Like, that's not gonna, it shouldn't be affected just after someone, maybe ask you a question, or if someone, if you sit through a sermon, right? Or some, PowerPoint presentation, I don't know, slideshow that says, you know, backup reasons, actual scientific and psychological reasons, backup reasons that shows, hey, maybe you're probably actually not this way, but it's actually X, Y, and Z, right? That led up to you feeling the way you feel, or whatever, But again, this is something that I find that whenever it's stated, right? I'm not talking about anyone's, putting a rope around their neck and dragging them and forcing them to change. No. Because I'm just extending my hand, and there's the simple gratitude of, hey, you can come, or, you can come, or either you can come or you don't have to. And that's it. That's all I'm really saying. But again, it's like, even if you do that, though, it's like, no, you're discriminating against me, and it's like, I haven't even done anything to you. I said, if you want to come, you're welcome to come. If you don't come, hey, best of luck to you. But I'm just saying, like, you have to look at the underground. Like, is it really just you're the way you are just cause? And yeah, you can even question, hey, well, are you really straight or whatever just cause? Yeah, let's look into that. Yeah, let's look into everything. Let's question everything, anything and everything. Because there is indeed anything and everything in this world, and that's exactly what I've come to find, you know. Because you go to that, seminar or whatever, to that PowerPoint presentation, doesn't mean you'll walk out of there changed. I've been changed. Doesn't mean that. Even you may know that may not be the truth, but at least don't be an ass. Don't be an ass, okay? You don't have to be an ass about it. And then say that everyone's trying to, go against you, and no, that's not what it is. It's not always what it is. There are some assholes out there who take advantage and who will try to shove things down your throat. But hey, I feel like just leave an open opportunity, because to be honest, there are those who are really lost and they're really struggling, and they come to a choice, okay, with whatever queer part of the branch it happens to be. Either I love it, or either I learn to love it, right? Either I learn to get over, either they're in such turmoil with themselves, right? They're tired of being confused. They're tired of being frustrated with the feelings that just won't seem to leave them, whatever it happens to be, whatever it happens to be. Even just questioning things, and not being sure of themselves in certain ways that identify with the queer community. Like I said, whatever queer branch it happens to be, whatever. They come to a conclusion, like they want to love themselves, and, at the same time, they don't exactly love, all the feelings that they may have, right? They want to love the feelings that they have, at the same time, their personal self that they've known for such a long time to be, because they realize that, obviously, the new feelings that they realize that are actually there and they're strong, they're not going away, right? They're going through a metamorphosis, and they have to realize, okay, either I'm going to love it or I'm going to hate it. But the problem is, you've probably been hating it for a while, haven't you? Whatever it happens to be. But at the same time, you can't necessarily love it because you don't even want it. So what do? These are the people I'm talking about, okay? These are the people who really, they do need someone to talk to, besides just someone telling them, hey, well, you should just learn to love it. You should just learn to accept it about yourself. And if anyone tells you otherwise, well, then they're a hater, they're discriminating against you. No. And I even say the opposite, right? If someone's just coming in and saying, hey, well, you need to change. You have these feelings and you need to change. Or even if they put a religious spin on it, well, you're a sinner and you're going to hell, and you need to repent of your sin. How? Repent of your sin. How? I just told you, repent. But I don't know how to do that. You see, they get to a point like where they're just so vulnerable, right? Because they don't know what's up and what's down. They want to get better. They want to feel better. But they don't know how to do that because they have one side telling them they should, love the gay. They should just love everything that's queer. They should love themselves. They should learn to love themselves as they are. And then you have the other side that says, well, no, you should hate these feelings, and you're bad, and you're nasty, and you're sick. And they're torn between somewhat a mixture of those feelings within themselves about themselves. So, it's really confusing. These are the people that I'm talking about, especially I feel like the youth coming up, and you'd be surprised how many are embarrassed, and they're not going to open their mouths. They're not always going to be, I never would have guessed, right? This person has feelings of this nature. But of course, because they've been embarrassed, right? I don't care how, progressive the world seems to be becoming when it comes to queer stuff. I don't care. Because every single person knows, whether queer or straight, actually, queer or, whatever, your general hetero cis people, everyone knows that, queer people really don't have much of a place, and they're not really wanted. Now, you're going to have the people who try to delude you and try to say, oh yeah, we do, and everything's okay, but no, deep down, every single person knows that's not the case. Otherwise, why would we still be fighting so hard for some things, huh? If certain things don't matter, if love is blind, right? To everyone, if everyone's just so loving and so accepting, well, yeah, there are still a lot of things off. But again, whether to give in or whether to just, throw in the towel and forget things altogether, right? I find a lot of people in the queer community, we try to ignore things. Try to ignore, this, the illusion of inclusion that we have, right? We try to ignore that, and we try to just tell ourselves, it's okay. It'll be okay. We'll just get by day, and things will be okay. Right? We'll just live with it. It's kind of the same thing as I find that I'd say most people off the street, they'd have. It depends on I feel like most black people off the street would have as far as whites, right? Keep your head down, hustle, you'll get by. You'll make it in this white world. No. It's not the way to go. And I'm saying, these people, the queer youth, like I said, because whatever, maybe your boss, a neighbor, you don't know. You don't know if they'd have these feelings because they're really embarrassed. Even now, today, hey, maybe you're saying, well, it's 2016. What do you have to be embarrassed about? Gay everywhere, baby. No. Like I said, they're embarrassed or humiliated themselves about themselves, right? They are ashamed. They don't even want these feelings. I'm talking about someone who, like I said, they don't even want these feelings. They don't understand why they feel the way they feel, whatever it happens to be. So they're certainly not going to go out and shout it from the rooftops and, amen, sister, right? They're not going to go out and be prideful, right? And all pride and yippee skippy, no. And they're going to keep their mouth shut because they themselves are embarrassed just to even admit it to themselves. And rather than force them down with either, you should love yourself, you should be happy, shut up, stop complaining, or either the, yeah, you're right, you're horrible, you're gonna burn in hell, or whatever, you're horrible, you're nasty, you're sick, you're a crime against nature. Which way do they go? Because they're torn in the middle, right? They came to either side, either the pro or the con, and you have the neutrals in the middle who, again, still can't seem to give them a way to go. Because they're not taking them over here, they're not quite taking them over there either. So, again, where do they go? They're stuck, right? So, they go to the main pro, the people say, yay, love the gay, love the queer, love yourself, just shut up and enjoy the feelings. I don't understand what the problem is, you big baby, right? I'm queer, nothing's happened to me. And then you have the other side who's like, yeah, you're nasty and you're wrong and you shouldn't be this way. Oh my God, why do you feel this way? Just stop. Can't you just stop? Just get rid of the feelings, right? But that person is sitting there thinking, well, if I could, don't you think I would, right? Why would I be coming to you if it was just as easy as you're saying it is, right? To love myself or to despise myself and despise what I feel. At least I can be like, sometimes even with modern day, like day to day when I deal with certain people, sometimes like they act surprised. They're like, you know, well, why are you even coming to me, right? Why are you even telling me about this? Or why do you feel like I'm the one to tell about this? I don't know. I'm like, hey, take it easy, man, because you need to open your eyes and realize that when I tell you something, and you're like the only person that I've told it, that means that there's something about you that I actually trust, right? You need to, feel a little bit honored that you're the only one, like if I come to you and tell you something, that means, there's a level of comfort there. If I come to you and try to ask you about something, try to talk to you about something genuinely, right? Not an argumentative debate of things. No, I'm coming to you genuinely, peacefully. I don't expect to get some lecture in return. Come on now. I mean, if I'm coming to you genuinely and everything, well, I humbly, trying to have a one-on-one with you about anything, whatever it happens to be, groceries or even the clouds, right? You know what that shows? You, the only one, to talk to you about this, yet alone actually give a damn about the problem, whatever it is I'm talking to you about. And then for people to throw it back in your face and say that you don't care, that you're not working on it, or you must not, you just not must be working hard enough on it. That's why you haven't gotten rid of the feelings. That, no, I've come to you and I'm literally throwing myself on the floor. I'm throwing myself humbly in front of you. And I'm giving you authority to tell me what to do, to help me and guide me in what I should be doing. And then you just throw it back in my face? And you tell me to shut up and take it and be happy, or that, whatever. That's not solving anything, That really doesn't solve anything. It's really insensitive, and to be honest, it's pretty damn selfish. If I come to you with a problem, that means that I care, number one, genuinely about whatever it is that I come to you about, right? So don't throw it back in my face and say that I don't care, or that I didn't try hard enough, or that, you must not have thought about it long enough. Because obviously, number two, I'm coming to you because I need help with it, right? Because I'm struck. I'm so struck, and it hits me so hard with this. I'm so up against the wall with it. Why else would I be asking for help if I could not do it by myself? And then thirdly, again, when people take it for granted, when you come to them, it shows that I actually care for you when I come to you about certain things, right? It shows that I feel a level of comfort and love, right? But then you just throw it back in my face. It makes me not even want to trust you anymore. Especially when I came to you so vulnerable from the start anyway. Oh man, you'd be surprised how many close people I've had do that to me, and it just really tears me up, and it makes me not even want to deal with them. Because it's really ugly. But, yes, this video, I commented, guys have mammograms? Or is this only trans guys who may need one? By the way, how do prostate exams, because he mentioned prostate exams too, I didn't hear him specifically say for MTFs. He was specifically making a scene for FTM, so I was kind of confused. Like I said, I already looked this up plenty in the past. I didn't see anything, right? And logically, I'm thinking to myself, okay, trans guys, they are, they're guys, but they're still trans in front of it, right? They're coming from a place of change. You understand? Born female. Females do not have prostates. So how does that work? This is, like I said, way back when, logically putting the puzzle pieces together, trying to figure this out. Yeah, I'm struck by that because I'm like, how does that even work? How do I test? Because I'm trying to make sure that I'm healthy, right? When I was thinking about hormones and surgeries, I'm like, okay, I was starting to get scared because if there's not a way to test this, I could get prostate cancer, right? But wait, how do I even get prostate cancer without even having the prostate? Thus the cancer? So I was really confused. And I was trying to make sure I didn't get cancer, right? I was trying to make sure I'd be as healthy as I could be. And, what is it? Yeah. I said, or is this, only for trans guys who may need one? And I said, by the way, how do prostate exams work for trans guys? I have looked this up constantly in the past, but I don't get anything for trans guys. Also, how does it work at all? Like, how does it work at all? Like, prostate cancer and such requires you to first have a prostate, and that's something, I wrote hats, something. That's something that only biological males have, so how does it work, dude? With a smiley face, whatever. He said, I'm trying to be inclusive with the MTF population. I am from a medical background, and I'm from a medical background. Okay, nah. And am well aware that FCMs do not have a prostate. Please try to not be so literal and see outside of the box. Cis men get breast cancer, but I was addressing the trans guys who might have, who might have a history of breast cancer in their family to get mammograms. That's smart, and I agree with that. Also, I was trying to reach MTFs who struggle with prostate issues. That's good, it's very inclusive. Because to be honest, again, that's something that doesn't cross my mind. Because I think, okay, women, no prostate, trans women. You're still a woman, right? We're trying to be inclusive. Women are women. Women, trans women, you're all women. Good. Cut, clean, happy, right? No. I forget. Oh, yeah. Women, of course, are women, but still, there's a place of trans, which means place coming of, coming from, right? There's a change, a metamorphosis that happened. So you still have some of the original wiring, some of the original clockwork, right? Some of the original gearing, right? I don't think about this on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, I don't have the experience of being MTF. Now, how I feel currently about myself and my placement and my fluctuations of masculinity, femininity, and whatever else, right? I'm very comfortable in my body, right? Very comfortable, and even in public. It's one thing to not be comfortable in public, but even with yourself, just self-comfort, that was a big deal. And I struggle with both of these, but I'm going to say, if I had in fact gone through with hormones and surgeries at this point in time with how I feel now, because physical and mental, those are they're pretty distinct. But yet they both kind of depend on each other, and they both kind of balance each other out. Like I said, my dysphoria was coming from my body, right? It affected me mentally. And of course, other societal things that, again, societal things with men and women that were distinctive, and, treatments and opportunities and privileges and disadvantages and whatever else, and safety and, whatever, relations, varying relations, family and relationships or whatever, work, right? I knew how these things operated in the general world, again, with your general type of people. General, again, that's the word I'm using, right? So they're going to take me because I have breasts, I have a vagina, I have a very feminine figure, and I'm wearing very tight clothing at the time. They're going to treat me a certain way, right? The disadvantages and pros and cons and relations and how they're most likely going to play out because I am indeed a female in society, right? And I also, at the time, I played on very heavily trying to dupe myself and make myself feel comfortable in something that I was never going to be comfortable, right? In a forceful way, right? Trying to be a perfect girl, right? Trying to make myself be a girl, all that stuff. Well, I didn't 100% feel it. And I'm not going to lie, I still don't 100% feel it. Not all the time, but I'm working there. I'm working at it. And, I'm just saying, I realized my placement in society, because again, how I was playing into it, right? I was playing this female role, and even worse, to be honest, the feminine female role, when I wasn't indeed a feminine female. There was conflict in my mind. There was a battle. There was a shift in my masculinity mentally, and it was trying to come out, and I wasn't letting it. And that's where the discomfort came from, when I was wearing those tight ass jeans and tight shirts and the girly hairstyles and whatever. It was a problem, because I was very uncomfortable. The way I was treated, and the way that I was seen, and the way I even looked, right? Looking at myself. Not just in the public eye. Dysphoria, but also self-comfort was very off, right? If I had done all the stuff that I wanted to do moving forward in, my trans life, right? As John, well, I would have ruined my life. And in fact, I would have, right now, how I feel, like I said, constant fluctuations in my mind. But on general day-to-day, it is a big accomplishment to say, especially publicly now, right? And of course, personally, being comfortable with my body is a great accomplishment. I go out without a binder, and I'm happy. I'm fine. I don't worry. Oh my god, there's a cute girl across the street. Oh my gosh, she's gonna see my breasts through my shirt. I don't worry about that anymore. I'm so blessed. I'm so fortunate that my heart has changed. That God has changed my heart. It wasn't all me. It wasn't all me. I can't even try to lie and take full credit, because that is a hell of a job. It didn't happen overnight, but I'm just, it was an evolution. But I'm just saying, if I had done all that stuff at this point in time, how I feel about myself, right? Because then there's still, I would have been an MTF. FTM turned MTF. And I think that's just kind of ridiculous in my stance. Like, that would have been ridiculous. Like, that's a hell of a ride to put yourself through. I feel for myself, like, that would have been a hell of a ride. Even to tell me I was already female and then I'm going back to being female, like, that's ridiculous to me. Thinking about myself, like, I had everything 100% generic, organic, right? And I just messed it up, and now I have like some fake plastic silicone crap, and it's all hard. It's not as fleshy. The blood supply, the blood flow doesn't flow the same way. I'm altered. I'm this weird, manipulated, manufactured thing. I don't know, like, even more so, right? Because I altered this and this and this and this and this and everything about my body to make it completely one way. And then to go back and change and be the complete opposite. Try to be the 100% opposite the way that I just had it before. Yeah, that's a lot. And that's a lot on your body. That's quite a toll. But then my problem would have been if I were an FTM and then having, no longer preteen, no longer pre-surgeries, full flesh, right? Full 100% embodiment of a male, right? The male version of me, which is what I wanted, 100%. Way back when, not that long ago, it's still amazing to remember it wasn't that long ago. That's why it's so weird. It's like, wow, what a change. And that wasn't all up to me. It wasn't all me. Like, that's something to just happen. Not overnight, but still. I mean, and people still try to contemplate if God exists. I mean, come on now. I used to be one of those people, I used to get annoyed when people brought God into everything, but really? Come on. That was work of a higher being. That was nothing that I did by myself. I slowly had realizations that changed me and changed my ways of thinking. Because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change, right? There was some of that on my part, but it was a big help. That didn't just happen for me. Because it was a lot. Like, dysphoria is a lot to do on your own and go through and try to get over and conquer on your own. So it wasn't just me. But, really, like, I would have been an FTM going to an NCF. And, yeah, man. I just think that's something. That's what would have happened if I had let myself do what I'd done, because now my mind's changed again, right? Things are constantly shifting, and not by choice, circumstances or whatever, you know? And that's another thing. I feel like in the queer community, you have to look at your circumstances, because you may feel like something's going on, like, you know, oh my god, like I thought it, like, oh my god, like, you know, I thought I was just bi, like I think I may be gay, like, hold on, consider your circumstances. What have you been going through lately? What kind of stress have you had in your life, and what have been your stressors? Why are you stressed about such things, and how does it relate to your your childhood growing up? Like, you know, who are you today because of who you were back then, right? How have you changed? What has been your evolution, and what do you plan on it being from here on out? You know? Okay, so you say, you know, you thought you were gay, but now you think you're just bi, or now you think you're, you know, asexual, or what? Okay, so, you know, tell me what you like. Tell me who you think you are, and, you know, tell me what you want out of your life. Tell me what you want at this present moment, and then give me an alternative to what you would possibly want too. Some of the things that you like, tell me, you know, tell me some of your likes, tell me some of your dislikes about this stressor it is in your life, right, regarding anything that's queer. I find that extremely important. Like, let's talk through it step by step, rather than just disclosing it. Okay, you know, so you must be gay. Okay. Let's try to figure it out, because that's a lot. And it's even important to do that, I feel like, with, yeah, your hetero and cis people too. Like, it's never wrong to evaluate, self-eval, you know, and see where you stand with yourself, and who you are, who you want to be, where you're coming from, you know. So those things can really shape you. But, yeah, what really made me mad, I'm gonna say, when this guy, yeah, he replied, and this is that type of attitude I'm talking about in the queer community. Not trans or not asexual. I'm talking about the queer community as a whole. This part right here stuck out to me. Please try please try not to be so literal and see outside of the box. Well, what do you mean? I mean, aren't I supposed to be literal? How other way is there to put it? Right? I don't understand that. You know, I'm not going to give another name to the part that is. It simply is what it is. It is a prostate. Women do not have prostates. That is just simply that, you know, what it is. And I don't think, I even looked up the surgeries. There aren't any surgeries that can give you a fully developed prostate in comparison to a bio, you know, male. And that just literally is. It's not offensive, right? I'm not poking you in the eye. You're fine. You're not hurt. It's just your ego may be struck, right? I had it too, and I had to deal with it too. And people would, you know, throw things in my face. Oh, well, you're not a guy, and, you know, you don't even look like a guy, and you'll never be a guy. And, you know, it's damn, it really hurts you, because you know, yeah, man, it takes a toll, right? That emotional thing, and then your ego, right? Because it's also like, okay, so I know I've heard this a lot, like with other queer people, but, you know, it's like, I also don't like the thing in the queer community where it's like you have to say everything that applies to their feelings. You can't say it as it is. Like, you can't be blunt. When I say blunt, I don't mean an asshole. There's a difference. When you're directly trying to put someone down, when you're trying to, be hard on them. No, but just let's get out all the facts, not just the ones that make you feel good about yourself. If we're going to say it, let's say it all, right? Let's tell it as it is. And thus, stemming from that, how you want it to be, right? It's kind of like the menu, right, at a restaurant. Let's say there's a salad. It comes with this, and this, and this, and this. That is it. That is as we serve it, standard, on a standard level. But hey, if you want croutons, you can add some croutons. Let's talk about the basics. Let's talk about some add-ons, right? Let's talk about how it is, just as it is. Let's talk about how you would like it to be, right? You don't have to have croutons. You can take them out. You don't have to have a certain type of cheese. You don't have to have, whatever. You don't have to have carrots or tomatoes. You can have your tomatoes or carrots sliced this way. You understand? So it comes with this, and this, and this. But you can, pluck out what you want from it. But that's later on, after we've decided the general basis of everything. That generally standard, on a standard level, comes with it to begin with. Can we just be real? Can we be real? Right? I'm not gonna play into things for you because because you were sensitive feelings and you want to just call out the standard activist bullshit. Oh, you're discriminating against me and no, I didn't say anything like that. You're not hurt. Calm down, okay? Don't get an ego trip. Don't be boo-hoo. You're not hurt. But instead of saying, it's different from being an asshole. I've had assholes. Again, like family members, be assholes. Telling me you're wrong and I'm right and I know how things are gonna turn out for you. When I would come to them about questions or whatever confused feelings I was having or just things on my mind. People telling me, well, I know how it's gonna end for you. I know this is just something you're going through. I just, I know this is just whatever, and you're just being stupid. This is just silliness right now. How the hell are you telling me about me? Look, especially when you haven't even let me get out the question fully, right? People who like to interrupt, you haven't even let me get out the full questioning, so how the hell do you know what I'm coming here for? Anyway, again, there's a difference between, just stating the blunt facts and, again, coordinating, right? Because there has to be coordination in a conversation, right? It can't just be this lecture. No, don't lecture me. And I'm the one who stepped up to the plate and felt decent enough and literally cared enough about the situation, whatever happens to be that I'm talking about, to come to you and ask you about it, right? Genuinely, lovingly, openly. But don't turn it into a lecture. Don't do that. Don't say, oh, well, I know what you're going to choose anyway, and you're just up in the air. No, stop it. Because now you are being an asshole. Taking my situation and you're twisting it for your own sick gain. Shoot. It's not out of care. It's not out of love. You're not even having a discussion. Like I said, you're not even allowing me to respond to certain things about how I may feel. Because I'm the only one who knows things as they're going to be for me. As far as how I feel presently and, again, where I want to take things in my life. I'm the only one with that kind of imagination for myself, about myself. Who I was with, what I was doing, and when I did it. You don't do that when I'm the one who came to you and tell me anything about that. And that's something I absolutely cannot stand it when people do that. Been living with it for a while, but please not be so literal. I mean, I don't see how other I'm supposed to be. Even in the medical field, you're supposed to be literal. Now they have abbreviations and everything like that, but still, you're supposed to. It's supposed to be literal. The strict terms on a strict name, basis. That is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be anything else. It's like, mixing up elbows and kneecaps. No, they're different things on different parts of the bodies. I'm not going to give it a different name. I'm not going to, you have to be literal. Be as blunt as possible. There's a difference between being blunt and an asshole. And people trying to sabotage and, throw things back in your face for their own gain, right? To stick their nose up and feel above you. To to be right all the damn time. Again, when you're the one who, when you're the one who came there and, opened yourself up to them in the first place, to even allow them to, have the open judgment of helping you or criticizing you or whatever in the first place. I don't understand that, Don't throw me under the bridge, especially if you're quick to do so. That proves you're not the person I need around. That's really what I've come to the conclusion of about some people around me. And it really hurts because I really depended on them, but whatever. Sometimes I get to the point where I'm like, man, fuck feelings, fuck relations. Like, really. Fuck friends. Like, at the same time, I wish I had some good ones, So, yeah, it's kind of weird, but, yeah. That's all. I mean, I'm glad the video was very inclusive and it hit topics that I don't usually think about. It's not on my mind day to day. Obviously, I don't have, the worries or the whatever of a MTF, right? I didn't have to deal with those things. I didn't have to think about that. Anyway, I'm very glad that he's sharing different information, right? Because, it's very nice. And now I'm on this page. It's called, okay, well, whatever. I'm not going to say the name because of safety and stealth reasons, but yeah. It's another trans thing, but it's in fact, it's a support group of women who happen to be sisters of, aunts of, nieces of, or mothers, grandmothers, work buddies, whatever, any kind of relations. And including, girlfriends or partners or whatever you want to say, whatever, to, trans men. That's the page I'm on right now, right? Helping them and, admirers of trans men and things like that, and just, things like that. I like it. It's very open, it's inclusive, and it's very helpful. And it's beautiful, Passing love around. There's nothing wrong with that, More love to go around. I feel like there should be plenty. I feel like there should be plenty of love to go around and at least open growing room for opportunities of safety, right? And, conversation and hopefully a bit of grasp of understanding. I feel like that's not a bad thing. So, regardless of how my views have kind of shifted, right, towards the trans community and the queer community in general, whether I think they're for good or for bad, right? I'm not going to talk about that. It's going to be a long, long video. But I'm just saying, yeah, I definitely changed. Either way, some conversation is good. It really is. It can go a long way. But that's all I have. I'm out. If you made this far, congratulations. It is 1:08 a.m.